We've got an hour and 15 minutes before our race, our final. This is the mark we're going to set down for the rest of the season. This is where we're going to go from. We've got a lot of work to do in this race. Got to prove a point here. This is where we show everyone else what we're made of. How are you feeling, buddy?
Feeling quite relaxed, quite warm. I think we can do something pretty special today, but now's a good time for relaxing.
Just want to row a really good race. Make them leave the event.
I want to go out there and break every crew out there. I want to let them know that if they want to come to the Olympics and race us, they're on for. They're just not going to win. I want to smash them into the ground. There's no way they're going to come near us. All right, guys, we just won our first World Cup, and this is our prize from Jürgen. €10 meal voucher. Look at the smile on his face. He had so much pleasure giving that to us.
This is our new 2007 gold medal. First of 3 medals this year, this shape and colour. And then off the World Championships at the end of the season.
You're only doing this to get out of doing something.
I'm not. This is a very responsible. This is very responsible operation I'm doing here.
So it's Wednesday, 13th of June. We're exactly halfway between our first and our second race of the season. At this stage, against our opposition, there's nothing that we have to prove against them, and every time we go out and race, it's just another opportunity for them to try and learn something from us.
Jürgen, our coach, said that the strategy is going to change for the next World Cup to mainly take the pressure off the Cox's 4 as the top boat, so he's decided to put us into an 8.
We've had a dream start to the Cox's 4 the last couple of years, and we've had a lot of success, but this new challenge is going to put us in a situation where we're having to get out of our comfort zone, and we're going to have to find something new in ourselves that we haven't had to find for a long time.
So we're not going to do the Cox's 4, we're going to do an 8, which is something new well, certainly new for me. I've never been to an international race in an 8, so I'm looking forward to that.
It's interesting for us because we've gone undefeated now for 27 races, and that's a fantastic achievement, but now we're going into a race where we're not likely to win.
We have to really find that extra level, which is going to be necessary in the long run for this year's World Championships, but ultimately the Olympic Games, which I'm still very aware is the main
fun, and it was a good chance to do something different, be not in the same situation as we are now for 2.5 years, being every time tested from the crews. They find more out about us than we can find out about them. So and so far that was the main reason.
We have to come close to them. They have to develop, and we do that as well. And there are others as well. And so I think the field is closing a little bit up, and see how we do.
We have to develop our team and not the Dutch team. And of course it comes well together. And in one way, maybe the Dutch are very happy for their home crowd. Having not the biggest guns here, so and so far, but that was no reason for that.
Now from Amsterdam, with the race just a couple of minutes away, and worth saying also that we have 2 British 8s in this race, so a little bit of rivalry there as well.
Well, the one that the 4 are in is Great Britain 2. And that's got the Cox's pair on. They're the 2 gold medalist boats from Lynx 3 weeks ago. And then you've got the 8, which is the basis of the 8 at the World Championships last year that finished 5th. And were 5th 3 weeks ago at Lynx as well. So you've got both boats racing each other from there.
If you're the proper 8, if we can call them that, the established 8, it would be a slight jolt to the confidence, wouldn't it, to be overturned by what's effectively a scratch team?
Yes and no, but they've been doing all sorts of trials all the way through the year, so they know where they stand as individual athletes. And yes, they're more specialised in 8 rowing, so you think they've had more time in the boat than it. But when you put better athletes into a boat, they should be a better crew. The heats, they seem to come through quite well that it could be quite close for second, third and fourth positions. But I expect Great Britain 2 to win this race.
Okay, well, there's a Chinese crew in there, as you can see, and the Chinese athletes, rowers across every discipline are getting stronger and stronger as Beijing gets ever nearer. Let's join our commentators there. They're very close to the off, Gary Herbert and Dan Topolsky.
Well, I'm very disappointed that Jürgen didn't give me the call to sit in Great Britain 2 in lane number 3, because away they go. Phelan Hill has the pleasure, and what a pleasure that is, as the Grobler 8, let's call them the Grobler 8, absolutely powering there. Hodgie there in the 6th seat, 3 in from the left, calls, come on, as we go through, as we go through the 10th stroke here. This is the Men's World Championship, Coxless 4 in there with a couple of friends there, Colin Smith in there as well, and Matt Langridge in the 7th seed. Partridge there to the right, coming down the boat, Colin Smith, James Orme there, Marcus Bateman, these guys are the spares for the team. There's Peter Reid, there's Hodgie there, Matt Langridge, Steve Williams, and then we've got in the Coxswain seat, Phelan Hill there, pushing his guys on. I'll give you a lane order. Switzerland in 1 on the far side. Tim Foster, remember that name. He coaches that boat. Germany in lane 2. Great Britain 2, Grobler 8 in 3, Poland in 4, China in 5, and Great Britain 1 going through the picture now. The regular 8, Asa Nethercott, a little look to the left there. Dan, what a fantastic start.
Isn't that amazing? They've got about a full half a length. It's not unusual. All the way through the winter, none of these crews train in their actual boats. So they are in and out of 8s and pairs and 4s, all sorts of different boats. So it's not completely impossible for them to do this.
120.63, that's a pretty good time in these conditions as Great Britain 2 and Great Britain 1 sneak up in lane number 6. Well, they're the regular 8 they were just looking at going through. Well, that's the main Grobler 8 there, and the British crew really think that, the Grobler 8 must be there to be taken out. It'll be a huge scalp for them. Stevie Williams in the stroke seat, looking ever so relaxed here. What a crew that is to be in. It's Great Britain 1 and 2.
They're moving very well there on the unfancied lane 6, but they are doing extremely well, the official 8. They're up there in 2nd place, but they're going to have to fight very, very hard in the second half of this race.
We're looking at the Grobler 8 here, pounding down the course here. It's only a matter of feet and inches. Partridge there to the right. He sits in the bow seat of Alex Partridge of the Grobler 8. We're going to come down and see the crews again. Colin Smith from the men's coxless pair. James Orme there, we're looking at him. What a ride he's having, the ride of his life. In front of him, Marcus Bateman, Peter Reid, the commander, Andrew Hodge sitting there, and then Matt Langridge, Steve Williams in the stroke seat. They've got about half a length over Great Britain 1, which is the regular Great Britain 8.
They're looking so composed here. This is very, very good race. Good blade work.
Can you believe we're already at the halfway mark? It's a quarter of a length, and if I was in the Great Britain 1 boat, the regular 8, I think the Grobler 8, we can take these boys, but we've got to take them now in the 3rd 500. A lane order, Switzerland up there in 1, where they haven't really looked in this race. We've got Germany in 2, Great Britain 2, the Grobler 8 in 3, Poland in 4, China in 5, and Great Britain 1 in lane at number 6.
There's Robin Bourne-Taylor at the bottom of the picture there, really enjoying himself. 2 army men, stroke and 7 in that boat. And they're now just being closed down a little bit by Poland, who beat them in the opening heat.
There's no doubt about it. Great Britain 1 in lane number 6 have raised their game for this final, and so they should. They are chasing the Grobler 8 in lane number 3, who has been coxed very well by Phelan Hill, the young guy from London Rowing Club here. What a ride he's having. As he sits forward, he must feel the power being surged on. And big guys, the commander, Pete Reid, sits there in the 5 seat. Andy Hodge there in front of him in the 6 seat. They're out now to about 3/4 of a length. Great Britain 1 in lane number 6 have to move if they're going to chase down the Grobler 8.
Germany with their world champion crew, bar their stroke man, Engelmann is stroking their boat. Their stroke man, Bert Heidecker, is ill.
through the 1500 metres now, and Great Britain 2. The Grobler 8 just lead. They lead by about 3/4 of a length. Great Britain 1. There they are, lane number 6. Look at the bows of that, slicing through very, very nicely there. We're looking at Tom Parker, who replaces John O'Devlin from 3 weeks ago. But down the boat, Tom Stallard, Tom Lucy, Hugo Lee, Josh West, Richard Edgington, Robin Bourne-Taylor, Alistair Heathcott, and Asa Nethercourt in the coxing seat, pushing them on here. And the Grobler 8 have not shaken them off. I know they wanted to go to a length and get clear water. They have not done that.
It's been an excellent performance for the official British 8. They've done so well there in the middle. They are now entering difficult water, but in the middle of the field, Great Britain, the Grobler 8 out in front, and coming up fast are Germany.
So we're coming into the closing stages inside 175 metres remaining. The noise amongst all of these boats as the coxes are roaring the cruise home. The Grobler 8 are just out in front. Here comes China and Great Britain 1 in lane at number 6 on this side. The Chinese crew are challenging the Grobler 8, as to our Great Britain 1. Keep their heads up. The Grobler 8 looking pretty impressive. It's 3/4 of a length over, down to half a length, down to a quarter of a length. The Chinese crew just missed it, and the Grobler 8 on the line by about 2 feet. What a result for them, and a vindication of Jürgen Grobler, the chief coach, to do this. Dan takes a breath away there, but the Chinese stormed right back in that closing stage.
They were fantastic. And their cox has gone overboard.
And why not? And why not? Dishang Zhang, the coxing seat in the coxing seat of the Chinese, they stormed in that last 150 metres. And we're looking at Great Britain, just to confirm the bronze medal position. Great Britain 1 got the bronze medal in that. They really did raise their game.
Fantastic performance for them from lane 6. It puts 2 British 8s on the medal podium. Two of the three medals. That's pretty good. Great performance from China in the last 500 metres.
We've never in the whole series of the World Cup since 1997 had 2 British 8s on a medal podium, and we are today, and we've got 2 very good British 8s. And Great Britain 1, it has to be said, you've got to think they're going to move on again here now.
This will have given them great confidence. Great confidence.
So a little wave. Have you know where our cox is? Could you bring him back, because we need to get our medals. There's the caption, Great Britain 2, the Grobler 8 top of it, and China in second, and Great Britain 1 in bronze.
And the world champions Germany in 4.
Well, you weren't alone in wondering where on earth that Chinese crew came from, because we weren't quite sure as far as the...
Catherine, just look back at the year and how you got your World Championship gold medal. It was a dinner and the circumstances around that. Do you feel now into this regatta that you actually are world champions?
Not entirely. I think to some extent, anyway, it feels like a very new year, and it feels like we're a new crew and we're setting out our new standard every time we go out and race. The whole World Championship side of things is tough. We have the gold medal, we are officially world champions, but because we didn't cross the line first on that day, there's part of you that feels that you didn't get it the right way, and you're not strictly world champions. And I think that's, certainly the 3 of us who went through that experience last year, proving it over and over again this year to make sure.
Tell us a little bit of how the boat is going over the last couple of weeks, improvements into this regatta.
Well, we've had a really good 2.5 weeks actually. We've tried to get more length, row with better rhythm, so hopefully in the middle of the race we'll be able to just move our boat that little bit more than every other crew every stroke. And yeah, it's all coming together. I mean, it's, there's not going to be any flashes of brilliance and flashes of genius. It's just about putting all the bits together every day, so that when we start the race tomorrow, we're going to feel really well prepared.
Catherine Granger leads Great Britain off the start in the final of the women's quadruple sculls at Great Britain lane number 4. A lane order for you as we go down. France are in 1, Ukraine are in 2, China in 3, Great Britain in 4, Germany in 5. And we were just looking at the Netherlands in lane number 6. And look at China already. They qualified direct from the heat to this final, as did Great Britain in lane number 4. And Great Britain are the reigning world champions. A lot of experience in there, but China second at Linz 3 weeks ago, Dan. They'll be looking to push them on hard.
China qualifying in the first heat were 4 seconds faster than the British, who won the other heat. but the British were cruising, and watching them in Linz 3 weeks ago, they were just outstanding. They were so strong, so beautifully together. They were moving better than I've ever seen them move, and they've just now moved past China. But the crew to watch really is on their other side here, just to the left of the screen. That's Germany, who I think now have got their boat that they expect to be their boat from Munich for the World Championships.
We'll have a look at Germany in a short while, looking at China in lane number 3 and Great Britain as they start to just extend out to a magnificent rhythm where they just allow the boat to float and run beneath them, or just inching ahead. But it's stroke for stroke as we go through the 500-meter mark. Great Britain, it shows there, the mark was wide and the line was wide. It looked like China went through first, but who cares? It's 500 gone. There's 1,500 to go. It's a long way, but Great Britain are in a good position here. They're poised quite nicely. Annie Vernon in the bow seat calling for the crew just to relax, because China have just taken it on.
Very nice to see the way that the British quad load up the weight of the blade in the water. You can see it loaded up as they pick it up really well at the front of the stroke. They load it up and they carry it through. But China are moving.
Annie Vernon called another go there just to squeeze on. She can obviously hear the noise coming from China in lane number 3 here, and the Chinese crews are just up the tempo a little bit, and Great Britain have had to respond. There's such a gutsy, pushy crew here. Another go from Annie Vernon here. Perhaps they're just pushing out the finishes, getting a little bit more speed on the technique, focusing on technique.
That's a shot we haven't seen before, and it's a very good way of being able to just see the relative movements of the boats, the blades particularly, and how the blades are going into the water, how they're picking up the water. But China certainly very, very competitive, moving very fast.
Trying to lead by about a quarter of a length. Just a little under here. Great Britain just got to keep it cool and relaxed. We're coming up towards the halfway mark. 1/3 of a length, China over Great Britain here. Both crews qualifying direct from the heat here. And a little look there at the steering of Great Britain as it takes them off. They're now half a length down. It's 1,000 down. It's 1,000 to go. But Great Britain have been in this position many times before. They know how to row from behind. Just give you a lane order through this. France in 1, Ukraine in 2, China in 3, Great Britain in 4, Germany in 5, Netherlands lane number 6. But it really is about 2 crews, and at the moment it's about 1 crew, because China have just put in a phenomenal push there at the 1,100-meter mark to take them out to 3/4 of a length down.
Listen, China was second in Linz. They were behind the British at Linz, so the British will think, well, we've got the measure of them because we finished a couple of lengths clear. We were very, very good in Linz, but this is the Chinese are really taking it to the British quad. And they've got to move. They've got to start to move soon, because they're just beginning to slip back. They've got a good, strong finish, but they've got to start using it pretty soon.
What they won't have been in for a reasonable while is being down and being able to row through under pressure so early on in the season here. There's Catherine Granger looking in control, but there's going to come a point now where you have to get out of the comfort zone, and that's very, very important. And this crew, I think, sometimes sit, a little bit behind the comfort zone, and they need to go into that, because here the Chinese crew now have opened up clear water. Look at that, and it just shows you, stroke for stroke, the Chinese crew are more efficient in moving the boat here. They're not doing any more pushes. They've got speed for efficiency.
But look at them. You can see it in their faces. They are fighting every single stroke. We looked almost a little bit kind of composed, too composed perhaps, but here there's some real aggression for the second part of the stroke.
500 meters remain in this final, the women's quadruple scull, and we are up for a real major upset here, because Great Britain, the double world champions, led by Catherine Granger, 3.2 seconds down from China, and China have really moved on over the last 3 weeks here. And a crew with Frances Houghton in the back in 3, Debbie Flood, Annie Vernon up there in the bows of the British crew here, couldn't contend with the speed of China in that middle thousands. They really now need to go up, don't they? They don't look as though they're fighting at all.
No, they look as if they think they're going to come back on China, but the Great Britain crew has got to respond. They've got to lift it.
The Chinese crew now out in lane number 3 are just sitting back and look at this, effortlessly now. What confidence they can take from this race. It's smooth, it's relaxed. They can look to the left. They know they've got the 2-time world champions from Great Britain there in their wake.
As they come towards us, you can see that extra push at the end of the stroke. That gives them extra purchase, and that's opened up some clear water.
Okay, inside 200 meters now, and the British crew a little over about 2 feet of clear water. They're going to need fireworks, really need fireworks. I'm watching the British crew coming towards us. We're looking at the Chinese crew. The Chinese crew look as though they're unruffled. They're holding it on here. It looks painful because they've done so much in the first 1,000. 150 meters remain. The British crew are up in the race. Finally, they're up in the race. They might have an overlap when we see, but clearly the Chinese crew are looking so strong. It doesn't matter if the British crew have an overlap, because China have done so well. They've got 5 strokes remain. They lead by a lane, and this is a huge upset for Great Britain. They're coming into second place and holding off Germany in third. It's China today, it's Great Britain in silver, and it is Germany in third position. And it's back to the drawing board for Great Britain there, and a real surprise and an upset.
Well, they let it go in the middle of the race. They let it go there. They were up there, moving very, very well for that first part of the race. But then it just started to slip away.
And well, that's an incredible sight there. It's been a long time since we've seen that at the World Cup. Great Britain in second place. China, the People's Republic of China, impressive today. And Germany in bronze.
Mahe Drysdale, the world champion from last year, your old sparring partner in training. First time we're seeing him now. Comments on that?
Yeah, it's good to see him. So it is. We had a bit of a reunion yesterday and stuff. Pats in the backs, big man hugs, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I think he's sort of lower rating as such, but I think he's a lot stronger, and I think he's really going to wind up towards World Championships this year.
On your tail, Alan Campbell, your old training partner, he's going to be chasing you. It's all been going on.
Yeah, well, there's always a few mind games in the semis, so I would never take too much out of it. And yeah, tomorrow's going to be the day that everyone puts everything on the line, and it looks like everyone's in top form, which quite often at this time of year doesn't happen. So yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting.
Through the 1,000-meter mark, a little look to the right from Alan Campbell, who has led pretty much from the off here. He's done an incredible job to the 1,000, but in the last 200 meters, Olaf Tufte, the Olympic champion, has really stepped up his game. He's shown the class sculler that he is, and will be starting now in the next sort of 15 strokes to move back. But Alan Campbell has just responded again, and he's moved on, just keeping that foot ahead. Sweden in lane 1. Give you a lane order. Top of your picture, out. Lassie Caron from Sweden. Andrei Czenik from the Czech Republic in lane number 2, coming down. He's still within with a shout. Olaf Tufte in lane 4, starting to move out. The camera angle is slightly deceptive as we move out. We can see now half a length.
Here comes Hacker now. Here comes Hacker in the boat with the funny front there, the funny bow, moving very strongly. And he's a good finisher, Hacker, when he's on song, but he's very inconsistent.
The pain now starting to show on the face of Alan Campbell as he moves through 1250 meters. And looking at the experience in the black boat of Mahe Drysdale from New Zealand. He knows now that Alan Campbell's on his shoulder. He knows that he can take him through, and every single stroke he is pounding the way back. Now a little look to the right to see where Olaf Tufte from Norway is. A little look further right to see where Marcel Hacker is from Germany, who was the bronze medalist 3 weeks ago. And this is an incredible scull from Olaf Tufte, the Olympic champion, who sat so quietly in the first 100, 200 meters and has now just annihilated Alan Campbell in lane number 6 here. But never give up on the British one, as he now looks to go through the last timing mark. 500 meters remain. The final of the men's single sculls. Alan Campbell, who led through to the 500-meter mark, struggled in the middle, 1,000, but he's such a fighter, and he has, by his own admission, stepped up on strength, but it's not looking down as though he's going to catch Olaf Tufte from Norway.
No, I mean, from second in Linz 3 weeks ago to probably he's going to be squeezed right out of this field. Remember, five of these scullers contested the final last year at the Eton World Championships, but Tufte here, exactly what he did in the semi-final, leading from the front. But we have got the world champion, Mahe Drysdale, eating away into that lead. He's making a big, big push now in this last 500 meters.
This is an incredible finish to this final here. Any one of these scullers could actually catch Olaf Tufte from Norway. He's looking right, and it's looking like Ondrej Čenik from the Czech Republic, winner from Linz 3 weeks ago. Up go all the scullers here, struggling in the forefront of your picture, Alan Campbell from Great Britain. It just shows you how much work he has to do. Perhaps he can pull something out of the bag. And here goes in lane number 2, Ondrej Čenik from the Czech Republic. He is now taking through stroke for stroke between the Czech Republic and Olaf Tufte, Dan.
Čenik went up to 42 strokes a minute there. He just absolutely jumped it up. He'd been working his way back through the field, and he's now up there level with Tufte.
Inside the last 100 meters, Čenik from the Czech Republic now holding through. It's going to be 3/4 of a length up as they come up onto the line. Ondrej Čenik from the Czech Republic punches the air, and rightly so. It was a race that was timed to perfection. At one point he thought it was going to be really game over. Olaf Tufte into second place has his head down out of the picture, but it is all smiles for Ondrej Čenik from the Czech Republic. It's 2 in a row in 2007.
Ondrej Čenik from the Czech Republic was first, Olaf Tufte from Norway was second, and Marcel Hacker squeezed into the bronze medal position.
Combination seems to be getting stronger and stronger.
Yeah, every time we go out and race we learn something more, and we're able to put that into the next race we do and make it go a little bit faster, so it's getting better every time we go out.
How are the conditions for you guys out there?
Pretty quick to 1,000. I think we were quite fast up there, but in the second half we were just trying to make sure we weren't making any mistakes, going along there, sculling well, but not trying to do anything too special, just staying out ahead.
Mark Hunter sits in the stroke seat from Leander Club. Zach Purchase from Marlow Rowing Club, only 21 years of age. Great Britain in this final of the men's lightweight double sculls. Well positioned. They were in third at 500 gone. We're now through the halfway mark. They've moved up into second. There's no doubt who the race leaders are. From Denmark in lane number 3, the world champions, the new world record holders, the fastest time so far done that. They did that yesterday in the semi-finals, and they continue now to move out. And the contrast in styles, Great Britain in the foreground and Denmark in the up in the top there. And we're just looking there at Slovakia, go for your lane order. Slovakia in 1, Austria in 2, Denmark in 3, Great Britain in 4, Poland in 5, and France in lane number 6.
Gary, I do like the way the British double are moving. They've got a wonderful sense of finish at the end of the stroke. They know that the Danes go out fast. They know that they have been able to pull back a length and a half, 2 lengths on them. But there's a lot to make up. But look how well together they are. They really are blending into a terrific double scull. And it's difficult. It's very difficult in double sculls to get that magic, that chemistry right. But they are doing it.
Dan, it is, as you say, to get the magic, it's all about sort of getting a good click.
It's how it clicks. It's how it clicks. And you find 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we had a triple world champion in the single scull, Peter Haining. No one could double with him. It just didn't fit. It couldn't work together. And so he never actually got into a double scull to win. These two guys are magic.
Coming in now to the last 500 meters of this final men's lightweight double sculls, and look at the gap. The world record holders, the world champions, are alight. They're on fire. They've absolutely demolished the whole of this field, including Great Britain, but Great Britain holding on well into second place. Poland in lane number 5, the Olympic champions, and now starting to move on as well. They've now moved up into third position, the Olympic champions.
Did you see them there? They just lifted the rating, about three or four strokes a minute there. Just lifted it up to 37.
So Great Britain really now have to push on. They're running out of water. A little under 400 meters remain if they have any chance of catching Rasmus Quist, Mads Rasmussen from Denmark, the world champions. Here they come. They look effortless. It's just real easy sculling. It's smooth and it's relaxed. And look at this. Poland now have got an overlap with Great Britain. Poland, the Olympic champions. Great Britain, the real crew for the next year or so out towards Beijing, and they're looking as though it's painful. That was Mark Hunter on the left of your picture.
Both Poland and Great Britain pushing up hard, and that competition is pushing them up onto Denmark.
Look at the size, the difference in size between Rasmus in the left of your picture, Mads backing him up in the right here. There's very little communication between the two of them. They just know how to move this boat. Inside 100 meters, they are paddling in, and rightly so. They are the world champions. They're the new fastest world record holders. Great Britain are going to get the silver medal position, holding off Poland. The Polish crew are the Olympic champions. Great Britain did well to get the silver. They're a length ahead of the Olympic champions, and it is Denmark, Great Britain and Poland. Well, I wonder whether Great Britain was psychologically affected by Denmark setting the new world record yesterday, but they split the world champions into second place and ahead of the Olympic champions, Poland. Denmark first, Great Britain and Poland.
Quite important, isn't it, just to get that consistency of keep beating the world champions every time. So, by the time you get to the World Championships and the Olympics next year, they're going to be quite scared of you.
Well, that's the idea. Yeah. I mean, I think we're doing everything we can to put ourselves in a good race. I mean, for the first time, we're coming to this World Cup being World Cup leaders, and for us, we want to definitely defend that title. And one of the things on the way to that is beating the world champions. Yeah.
Well, we've had a couple of injuries, and we've had a bit of time out of the boat, which I don't think necessarily a bad thing. It's kind of nice to have a break from each other and start afresh. But I think we have a definite feeling that the way we're rowing is becoming more robust, and that our race plan is developing over time. And every outing we go out, we feel we are making those steps on, and that's the important thing. And these new crews are coming in now. We've got the Kiwis and Australians who are showing a bit of speed, and it's important to put them behind us and, as they say, get to the World Championships having not lost to anyone and feeling that we can win.
So the green light gets it away now, and the eyes will be on three boats. Great Britain in lane 3, Slovenia in lane 4, and France closest to us in lane number 6. There goes Slovenia. It's top chop closest to us. Luka Spick backing him up. These guys don't get on very well outside of the boat, but inside of it they are absolutely awesome. Estonia up at the top of your picture in lane number 1, sneaking along on the inside of the bank there, having the better of the start in the first 100.
Look at Yuri Janssen in the stroke seat. He was at bow before. He's moved now into the stroke seat. They've swapped places, and it's a very important chemistry in a double scull. Very difficult to get it right, and so you're always testing and checking, and not everybody can work well in a double scull. But you've got Yuri Janssen there stroking that boat, and he's got lots of experience. 41 years old.
Wonderful sight as they go through 250 meters, 6 boats in a line, and now they're going to just start to stretch out towards the 500. It's top chop there's closest to us in lane number 4. They're just starting to ease out. Lane number 5, New Zealand, this new combination really just stepping up to the platform here in this final, their first final at a senior event. Lane 6, France, the world champions, and there in the middle of your picture, cool, calm and collected, Great Britain's Matt Wells and Stephen Rowe, both of them poised very well there.
Yes, they're closer up to the field than they usually are. They may be quite way back, but they're in a good position.
Nothing in it as they go through the 500-meter mark here now. It'll be a real psychological game here to come down off the sprint. The first 500 is about sprinting. The second 500 is about rhythm and getting the boat moving on here. And it really is important for Stephen Rowbotham in the stroke seat to keep it long. There he is to the left of your picture. And Matt Wells to really get a long stroke here. Good rhythm.
A lot of experience with Matt Wells. He goes back to 1997 when he won the gold medal in the under-23s. He won it again in 2000. And then in 2003 he was 5th in the double scull at the World Championships, 7th in the double scull at the Olympics. He's got a lot of experience, and he's sitting there in the bow seat with a relative newcomer in Rowbotham, who has really very little experience by comparison, but sprung on the scene 2 years ago, and they've made a very nice double.
What they love, the one thing they love, experience aside, is racing, and they love racing crews like Slovenia. It's top chop there now, just slightly moving out. Very important now is top chop and Slovenia. Luka Spick backing him up there, moving out to 3/4 of a length. They cannot get any more than a length, because then you start getting into the danger zone. When you open up clear water, that's when it becomes tricky for Great Britain, just watching that gap.
Remember last year, the Great Britain double beat the Slovenians at Henley. They took them at halfway, and the Slovenians had to wind down completely rowed out. They'll be looking there, and particularly they'll be looking to see them.
So leading by 3/4 of a length at the halfway mark, it's top Chop and Luka Spick from Slovenia. But I think the British crew have just poised, they've just cruised out to there. Now let's watch Great Britain's Matt Wells, Stephen Rowe, both of them in lane 3. Here they come. I think they'll start to push on, and indeed they are. They're starting to go through Australia in lane number 2. 6th at Lincoln 3 weeks ago here. We know that the British crew fight really hard in this third 500. A lane order. Estonia in 1, Australia 2, Great Britain, Matt Wells, Stephen Rowe, both of them in 3. Slovenia with its top Chop in the stroke seat, race leaders in lane 4. New Zealand in 5. France, the world champions, are in lane number 6 and currently in 5th position here. The race is developing out front. Down a little look to the right there by Lucas Spick.
Lucas Spick is he's so worried. You keep on seeing his little hat move to the to watch the British. He's a bit worried about the Brits, and I would be too. They look very strong. Look how upright they're sitting, quite tall, very powerful. 2 big guys, and they are moving now.
It's a great shot there. They just push the feet away, the boat goes on. You push the feet away, and the boat goes on. And you've now got Great Britain moving into 2nd position. Little look there, Steve Rowe, both of them to the left. He thinks, I know you guys are there. We're going to get you. We're going to stalk you stroke for stroke. But look at lane number 2, Australia, a crew that were 9th in the quadruple scull last year. Really in amongst it, amongst all the big boys.
Now we know that the British have a fantastic finish.
And they're going to need it because through 500 to go, 4 boats chasing that all-important gold medal. There is only 1 medal on the mind of Great Britain, Stephen Rowbotham and Matthew Wells. He's up there in the bow seat. Matt Wells there coming into your picture there. They're going to push it on now. They're going to sprint. They know what they can do here. Luka Spick in the bow seat and Istop Chop from Slovenia sitting alongside them in lane number 4. Where are the French in lane 6? Absolutely nowhere.
They're in lane 6. That's why they're nowhere.
Contending with wind and all sorts of problems there. And in lane 1, Estonia, Yuri Jensen, the old war horse, starting to creep up as well.
41 years old, moved into the stroke seat and flying. Look, there he is, Estonia. That's Yuri Jansen to the left of the picture. And they've reached their rating now to 41, and they are moving so well.
They are flying down, they're whipping it along. They don't waste any time around the front end, and Great Britain are going to have to battle it now. It's stroking, fighting between Great Britain and Slovenia. But look in the lane number 1, up there, sneaking along, almost stealing the medal away from Slovenia and Great Britain. Estonia in lane 1. They've got a little over 100 metres. Great Britain will need fireworks now. They can do it. They know they can do it. Up goes the rate. 44 strokes per minute. Estonia holding on. Over here, Slovenia, the heads are down. Australia going to be out of it. It's on lane number 1. Estonia out to a lane. Great Britain in 2nd. Estonia, Great Britain. Who's going to get the bronze? Great Britain get the silver. We'll wait for the confirmation of the bronze medal position. It was a fabulous race there for Yuri Jensen in the stroke seat. Tonu Endrickson in the bow seat. They just snuck up on there. They stole it, they said, and arrived. And that just shows you how much effort they put into.
He's 41, is Jansen. He's sitting there, tall as you like, and his partner, youngster, probably half his age, slumped in the boat.
Look at this for a finish. There's the Estonian crew over about 3/4 length, half a length on Great Britain. Great Britain, the canvas up, and we're just still not very clear there on that. It's Estonia, it's Great Britain, and it's coming through to us now. It's looking like Australia into the bronze medal position. So Great Britain were top of it all 3 weeks ago. They're pushed back into the silver medal position. Estonia robbed it from everywhere. And France, the world champions, back down in 6th position. Look at the gap, 12 seconds off.
It was our aim all the way through to make the A final this time because we narrowly lost out in Linz just 3 weeks ago. So we've gone back to basics, changed everything on our rig imaginable, and we've booked our place finally.
Together.
Oh yeah, that one too.
Alan, tell us about this event, because you know, I've been watching you over the last few years. It's so hard to get into a final. It's very, very competitive. I mean, what have you got to do to get into a final?
I think you just have to race your heart out, really. I mean, it is so hard because it is the only Olympic event for lightweight women, and so everyone puts their top 2 athletes in it. And you know, the The bad thing about that is that it's hard, really, really hard. But the good thing is when you do well, you know you're racing against the best in the world. And, you know, there's nothing better than to sort of get into an A final with the rest of them and fight it out. Because in A finals, it doesn't matter what you've done in the semis or the heats, you just have to race it.
We're at the halfway mark, and incredibly, China 2 have taken over clear water out of China 1. And remember, China 1 are the world champions from last year. A lane order as they go through and past the 1,000-meter mark. USA 1, Great Britain, Helen Casey, Hester Goodsell in lane 2. Starting to struggle a bit out front here, but they're in amongst all this middle pack without a doubt.
Well, Gary, they're lying fourth. If they can get past the United States, and the United States in that with that slightly kind of dysfunctional bit in the middle of the stroke, if they can get past them, that would be great.
So China 2 in lane 3, China 1 in 4, Denmark in 2 in lane 5, and Germany in lane number 6. And it's looking lethargic from USA in lane number 1. Surely the British crew of Helen Casey and Hester Goodsell can really take that, can really sense it, feel it, that USA are there to be taken.
Now they've got to see what they can do in that last 500 metres, and they have done some good finishing in the past, so it'd be interesting to see what they can do.
The individual maximum weight, remember, is 59 kilograms. The crew average 57 kilograms. They're all weighing in 2 hours beforehand, so it's such a nervous morning of preparation into the afternoon, and they really have to be on the ball when they're racing now. USA in their lane number 1. If we just get wide now, we'll see where the Great Britain have moved on. Hester Goodsell in the stroke seat, but it's looking like USA holding their own, and indeed they've moved out. Great Britain have just gone back into the 4th position.
There's a very gutsy performance from China too. I mean, they've just taken it by the scruff against the world champions and the world record holders.
500 meters remain in the final, the women's lightweight double sculls, and Great Britain going through in 4th place. They're struggling now to hold on. They're going to have to fight for that 4th place. There was such optimism. They were in there in the first 500 meters, really have struggled. They've struggled to keep up with USA in the middle 1,000. They were never going to even get a sniff of China 2 and China 1. Lane 3 and lane 4, and those were the crews that the 2 crews are leading this quite invincibly. But we thought perhaps they might have got the current crew in 3rd, USA.
But Jane here in the stroke seat for the United States there in lane 1. She's a very honest worker. Her sculls are hold deep all the way through the stroke, and so are these 2. Look at the way they lie back there. They're using every tiny little bit of length that they can get.
So you're looking at the wake of crew in lane number 3, China 2 to your right of your picture, and incredibly China 2 are beating China 1, and China 1 are the world champions from last year, and having written off USA in the middle 1,000, here they come strong again in lane number 1. They are now attacking the world champions, and the world champions closest to us have responded. They've seen the attack here. Now unfortunately Great Britain were just going to be to the left of your picture. USA look as though they've slightly come off a pace there, and we're looking at about 125 meters to go. China 2 leading comfortably, convincingly. They fought it, they were gutsy. They gritted the middle part of the 1,000, and they took it on from China 1, who are in 2nd place. Great Britain to the left of your picture, fighting for 4th. This will be a very credible position for Great Britain if they finish in 4th position, and USA are holding on as they come up in the 3rd. But up to the line now, it's China 2 going to take the gold medal from the world champions last year. Here comes through China 1, and USA really struggling to hold on to that bronze, and Great Britain pushed out into 5th place as Denmark 2 come through into 4th.
Great credit to the Chinese, two doubles, very good.
So Great Britain back in 5th position. They shouldn't be disappointed with there, but look at the gap here, a full 6 seconds ahead. China 2 in 1st, beating last year's world champions into 2nd, and USA hang on for the bronze. Through they go at 1,000 meters. Great Britain led to the 500. The world champions from China said, yep, thank you very much. We'll take it on nicely from here now. And that they are doing. China, lane of 4, start to move it on. France are in 1. Great Britain are in 2. Netherlands 2 in lane 3. China, the world champions, the winners from Linz, the current World Cup leaders, are in 4. Denmark are in 5. Poland 1. are in lane number 6 and struggling. Nothing from France, nothing from Poland in this race at the moment. Everything coming from lane number 4 and lane number 2. That's what we like to see. Lane 2 hunting them down, not giving China an inch on any of this course.
Yes, they've responded very, very well in that third 500. They're moving very, very well here. Dutch really struggling a bit now, but it's a good ball. You can see they're breaking up a bit, and that because really they are a new combination again. It's a changed combination, so it's quite difficult to be able to go as fast as you want to go. But the British 4, nice little look there across from Richard Chambers, but they are moving extremely well now and holding the Chinese.
They look confident. It's all about confidence. It's about knowing your game, what you can do, having the confidence to sit. There's a lot of noise going on around them now. They're all going to be calling because we're starting to get towards the business end of this race here now. The world champions know that they are under pressure. The world champions are China, the number 4 boat. The up-and-coming, the pretenders to the crown are in lane number 2. Great Britain, they were 5th at the World Championships last year. We're through and there's nothing in it. Great Britain have taken the lead again with 500 meters remain. It's been nip and tuck the whole way down the course. 500 out, it was Great Britain. The world champions from China took it on through the halfway mark. Great Britain took it on through the 1500 meter mark. China have taken it back now, and Great Britain have to respond for one more time, and up they go again. Here come the British crew, led by James Clark, Paul Mattock backing him up, James Lindsay Finn and Richard Chambers up in the bow seat. The British crew have to believe, Dan, that they can take this scout from China.
They are doing it, they are doing it. The Chinese will have to work their way up to 38, 40 strokes a minute. They're suddenly gritting their teeth. There's a bit of tension now there as they can see that actually Great Britain is moving away from them. The stroke man is not really looking at the British, he's looking at his oar, it's a tick. But look how well the British are moving, right through the stroke.
A stroke now, look at that, you can't take it, you can't tell who. Great Britain now just slightly back. The Chinese crew have moved up. They're on now 42, 43 strokes per minute, but the British crew have to respond without shortening up too much. It's starting to get a little bit stabby from Great Britain out there, and China are coming, and here come the Netherlands again, and France up in lane 1 starting to push on, but it really will be 2 crews. The Chinese crew might have it on the day. 5, 6 strokes remain. China struggling to hold it. Great Britain pushing again for the last time, but the world champions from China just by a canvas, and that was a fantastic silver medal though from the British crew, and all the way down it was nip and tuck, and such a great finish from Great Britain. Perhaps the race of the day here between China and Great Britain. Who could call it right to the end? Just China in first, Great Britain in second, and Netherlands.
There, I think you'll be making a bid from the sharp end down to the stroke seat after that.
Yes. Yeah, I only do bow or stroke. I don't do anything in the middle. I'll tell you what, whatever comes now, you know, I'll always remember this day. You know, it was a real tough call putting an 8 together for just 2 weeks. And, you know, it was just an awesome race. You know, we said before we went out there, this is our World Championships. Tomorrow morning, we're going to be back in the 4. The other guys will be in the pair. And, you know, this was the last race of our season. So it was really emotional. We were getting in the boat and we're all giving each other a big hug and saying, you know, this is our one chance. And all that emotion came out. And it's not just about, you know, we've got the 4 guys here and Phelan. But it's about the 4 other guys, you know. Colin Smith, James Orme, Marcus Bateman, Matt Langridge, they made names for themselves today as well. So it's not just about the 4 guys here. You know, it's a real effort from 9 of us.
Alice, well, you're killing me as well. I'm screaming up there in the commentary box. Men's coxswains 4, Beijing, gold medal, or men's 8 with Phelan in here?
That's not my decision. Got to leave it up to the big man.
But how enjoyable was that?
That was awesome. I mean, for me, I think that's probably one of the hardest races I've ever done. You know, Jürgen was so pumped about the beginning of this race. It's a real special thing for him and for all of us. And he said, you know, I want you to take the lead from the first stroke. And we did that, but it was a big, big call. And you could see at the end, the Chinese, you know, they threw everything back at us. And I think, you know, we had to really dig really deep. We never have to do that in the 4, so it was a real special experience.
Feeling well done. It must have been an absolutely awesome feeling in the first 10 strokes, just getting that thing off the start.
Oh no, it was absolutely brilliant. I mean, when 8s go, they just go, and we just had a fantastic start. Jürgen was talking to us about the start beforehand, and we just took off, and it was just great from there, really. But Good stuff.
Thoroughly enjoyable.
Oh, fantastic. When you go with some like 8 of the best rowers in GB and just put an 8 together, and that's about all you can go and say. Fantastic.
Peter, in the whole sort of, let's get back to the sort of business plan here, has that worked in terms of getting back into the 4 now, giving you, a bit of a release from the 4, get back in it tomorrow, crack on?
Yeah, a big release, massive enjoyment this last 2 weeks. It was a new project. Really enjoying the sport just for going rowing. It's so exciting. But now I think the 4 of us have taken a lot away from that experience. We've learnt a lot from the other 4 guys who are rowing with and with our new cocks, and it was very valuable. So we'll take those lessons that they've given us, take them back into the 4, and hopefully we'll go faster as a result. But big credit, like Steve said, to the other 4 that we were rowing with today. They're phenomenal guys. Big step up today.
Absolutely, well done. You would have won by a little bit more, but you were roaring out at the 5th stroke. Then you had another roar at about sort of the 10th stroke. I think you said something at the 20th stroke, and that was just down that end.
Hey, look, it just goes to show a key component of winning is enjoying yourself. It has to be done. If you do not enjoy what you do, you're not going to excel. You're not going to bring out the best. And I was loving every stroke of that. God, I had so much energy in that race. It was just like I was on fire. Backing up these guys, backing up the guys over there. The whole race was just a dream. Absolutely, it's the way to race.
Were the Chinese ever going to get you?
Of course not. Come on. Not in this race, they weren't.
Well, guys, well done. Brilliant, fantastic.
And broadcasting first day, you may have spotted Gary Herbert bending down to interview somebody else. Now, anyway, after 2 World Cup regattas, Great Britain with a 6-point cushion over China, who it does seem are getting better by every day. And we're off to Lucerne in 3 weeks' time for the next, or the final batch of the World Cup before we go to Munich for the World Championships.